Do you know who built the legendary Lamborghini, the car that stunned the world with its speed and beauty? Or have you ever wondered what it takes to create one of the most expensive and fastest cars on the planet? The birth of the Lamborghini. In a small Italian town called Sant'Agata, nestled among rolling hills and olive groves, lived a young mechanic named Matteo. Matteo was no ordinary mechanic. He had a passion for speed and a dream to build the fastest, most beautiful car the world had ever seen. His tiny workshop was filled with tools, sketches, and engine parts, and his eyes sparkled with determination every time he worked late into the night. One evening, as the sun painted the sky orange and the air smelled of fresh olive leaves, Matteo sat at his workbench, frustrated. He had spent years fixing tractors and old cars for farmers, but he wanted more. "I want to create a car that roars like a lion and flies like a bird," he said aloud, sketching a sleek, sharp design on a piece of paper. The design was unlike anything anyone in Sant'Agata had ever seen. Sharp edges, smooth curves, and a shape that seemed almost alive, as if it could leap off the page and speed away. Matteo's best friend, Sophia, was an artist who loved painting bold, bright colors that could catch anyone's eye. She often visited his workshop, bringing him coffee and fresh ideas to cheer him up. "Your car needs a name," Sophia said one day, leaning over his workbench to look at his latest sketch. "It looks fierce, like a bull charging through the fields. Call it the Lamborghini." Matteo laughed at first, amused by the name, but it stuck in his mind. It felt powerful and wild, just like the car he dreamed of building. Building the Lamborghini was not easy. Matteo needed money for parts, but the bank refused to lend him any. "You're too young," they said. "Your dream is too big." Matteo didn't give up. He worked extra hours, repaired every tractor and old vehicle in town, and saved every coin he could. Sophia helped by painting signs to advertise his workshop, drawing crowds with her colorful and creative designs. Slowly but surely, the town started to notice the young mechanic with the big dreams. During those long months, Matteo faced many challenges. One bitter winter, a shipment of parts was delayed, and work on the car had to stop. Instead of giving up, Matteo used that time to perfect the engine's design on paper and experiment with new ideas. He stayed awake late into the night, studying old manuals by candlelight. Sophia would come by every day with warm soup and encouraging words, reminding him that every great invention took time and patience. One cold, clear night, while exploring an old scrapyard on the outskirts of town, Matteo found a rusty engine buried beneath piles of metal and broken machines. It was old and broken, but something about it called to him. He saw its potential, imagining how it could roar again with power and speed. He dragged the engine back to his workshop, determined to bring it back to life. For months, Matteo worked tirelessly, cleaning and rebuilding the engine piece by piece. He replaced old parts, polished metal, and carefully tuned every valve until the engine felt alive under his hands. He shaped the car's body from sheets of metal, hammering them into waves and curves that reflected light like water. Sophia painted the car a fiery red, saying, "This color will make hearts race." The workshop was filled with the smell of oil, metal, and paint, but also with hope and excitement. Despite all his efforts, the journey was filled with setbacks. Sometimes the engine wouldn't start. Sometimes parts would break in the middle of testing. There were nights Matteo slept in the workshop, his hands greasy, his back aching, but his heart full of hope. Sophia stood by him, encouraging him every time he felt like giving up. "Every great dream has obstacles," she would say, "but you are stronger than them." The day of the Lamborghini's first test finally arrived. The whole town gathered on a dusty road to watch. Children sat on their parents' shoulders, and elders whispered prayers for the young mechanic. Matteo climbed into the driver's seat, his hands shaking, but his heart steady. He turned the key, and the engine roared to life, loud and powerful, like a thunderstorm breaking the silence. The crowd gasped as the Lamborghini sped forward, kicking up dust and leaving a trail of red light under the setting sun. "It's alive!" Sophia cheered, clapping her hands with joy. The car was fast, faster than anything the town had ever seen. Word spread quickly. Soon, people from faraway cities came to Sant'Agata to see the Lamborghini. They called it a masterpiece, a car that combined beauty, speed, and soul. Matteo's dream had come true, but he knew this was only the beginning. He opened a small factory, hiring his neighbors and friends to help build more Lamborghini. Sophia designed their logo, a golden bull, strong and proud, symbolizing power and courage. The factory became a hub of hope and hard work for the whole town. The sound of engines and laughter filled the air, and the dusty roads turned into highways of dreams. As years passed, the Lamborghini became a legend, driven by racers, admired by collectors, and loved by dreamers worldwide. Matteo traveled to car shows across Europe, proudly showcasing his creation. But no matter where he went, he never forgot Sant'Agata or the struggles he had faced. He often said, "The Lamborghini wasn't just built with metal and tools. It was built with heart, courage, and a little help from friends." Matteo's story inspired many young people in his town to chase their own dreams, no matter how impossible they seemed. He and Sophia started a small foundation to help young inventors and artists, believing that creativity and passion could change the world. Their story became a symbol of hope, a reminder that with perseverance and friendship, even the wildest dreams could come true. And so, the Lamborghini's roar continued to echo, not just on the roads, but in the hearts of everyone who believed that dreams could become reality with hard work and friendship. And so, from a tiny workshop in a quiet village, the roar of the Lamborygunu reached every corner of the world. Matteo proved that dreams are not just for the lucky, they are for those who never give up. His story reminds us all, even from the simplest places, legends can rise. Even from old, forgotten parts, something powerful can be born. Believe in your dreams, work with heart, and one day, the world will hear your engine roar. Thank you for listening to this story. Follow us for more inspiring stories. Heaven of English. Let's learn together, step by step.